Today, I wanted to talk about the sequence of savings. Now, the sequence of savings is a framework that you can use to help prioritize what should you actually do with your money. Should you put it into a bank account? Should you put it into your 401k? Should you pay off credit card debt? And so there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of confusion when it comes to what should I actually do with my money? So we put together this framework to help guide you in terms of what is the most important and how can you actually optimize your money. Step number one is to establish an emergency fund. Everybody talks about the importance of an emergency fund, and for good reason. It really is important, and there's a lot of people that just simply don't have this set up properly. So I highly recommend you open up a high yield savings account somewhere outside of your normal banking institution. So let's say you bank at Chase or Bank of America. I highly recommend opening up a high yield savings account outside of that bank for two reasons. One, you could probably get a better yield. So if your bank is currently giving you 0.05% interest on your savings account, you could do a lot better, especially in this high interest rate environment. And number two, you want this bank account outside of your normal banking institution so that you're not tempted to actually spend it. You do want to link the two bank accounts once that bank account is established, but you don't want that there to be a temptation. Go take a look at Amex. Amex has a great high yield savings account. Go look at Ally. There's a lot of great institutions out there that offer a very competitive yield, and tuck away your emergency fund in that account. Now, we recommend putting about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses inside of this account, but that number can vary. It can vary depending upon the variability of your income and your own personal risk tolerance. If you work for government or if you work for military, you could probably get by with a lower dollar amount. But if you're in a risky setting, let's say you're starting up a biotech company and your income is definitely at risk, you probably want 6 months or even greater. There's a lot of studies that are done that show that if you actually have an emergency fund and you have cash set aside, the anxiety around money goes down. It's definitely a win for you. Lower your financial anxiety and know that you are well protected just in case something happens and you need access to liquid capital. Step number two is to pay off your high yield debt. Now, this can be your student loans, this can be credit card debt, or anything that is above the 7 to 9% range. And know that that number, that 7 to 9% number, it really depends upon you. So if you are in your 20s and let's say that you have a very long time horizon, that number is probably higher because you're probably very aggressive with your money. Because you got to think about that opportunity cost. Is your money better spent putting it into the stock market, or is it better spent actually paying off your credit card debt or high yield debt? Let's say your high yield debt is not really high yield, let's say it's only 5%, then you're probably better off just putting that money in the market. However, if you have credit card debt that's 15, 20, 25%, then obviously you want to be paying that off as quickly as possible because that money will compound over time and it will just make you that much further behind in actually achieving your goals. It's also really important to make sure that you're actually paying off the principal balance on this. There's a really bad common misconception out there whenever you have credit card debt or even student loan debt is that you should be paying off the minimum amount. So whatever your minimum balance is every month, you should only be paying that off. That's not true. You should be paying this off aggressively. Pay off the principal every month and try to get that balance to zero as quickly as possible. Step number three is to take advantage of your 401k employer match. Now, most employers do offer some type of a match, whether it's 3%, 5%. We recommend putting that in, making the 3%, 5% contribution because it's free money. Whatever money that you're putting in there, you're basically doubling that return. That's 100% return on your money. And you can't really find that anywhere. Definitely recommend taking advantage of this. Most people don't really know if their employer does offer this or not because, to be honest, not many people actually get to sit down with HR on day one, and HR doesn't really explain to them what this 401k match is. Go look at your employee handbook, go reach out to HR, or go log into your portal and see if this is an option for you. And if it is, it's free money. You got to take advantage of it. Step number 4 is contributing to a health savings account. Now, this is a rare account, a beautiful account that most people don't really take advantage of because it really does have that triple tax advantage status, meaning that whatever money you put in that is a tax deduction, you can invest it and it can grow tax-free inside of this account. And for eligible expenses, healthcare related expenses, you can pull that out tax-free as well. Now, there is no other account out there that offers this many tax advantages to it. If your employer offers this account, then you can automate this, where this will be deducted directly from your paycheck every pay cycle, and it'll automatically go into your HSA. If this is an option, definitely take advantage of it. Number 5 is to participate in an employee stock purchase plan if your employer offers this. So an employee stock purchase plan typically offers a 15% discount and a look back period. And typically this will be like a 6-month look back period, meaning that whenever you make that purchase within your plan, it will find that window between the beginning and the end, whatever that lowest point is, and it will offer it at that price at a minimum of 15%. Think of it as sort of a guaranteed 15% return or greater for you as the employee. Now, it's important to be very intentional when it comes to ESPPs, meaning that if you're going to be on this regular schedule and you're going to be purchasing these shares, it's important to sell them as soon as they are bought. Because a lot of people make the mistake of just accumulating shares of their stock over time, and they're a bit disappointed whenever that stock doesn't really do too well. Now, it's important to note that SPPs, they tend to underperform the benchmark. So sell it as soon as you get those shares and diversify those assets. Step number 6 is to maximize your retirement plan contributions. So you've already gotten your free money with the earlier step of at least contributing up to the match, whether that's 3, 5, 6%, whatever it is. And if you made it this far down the list, now you need to be maximizing your retirement plan contributions, whether that is a 401k, a TSP, a 403b, whatever it is. Because if you're making this much money and you have this much money left over, then chances are you're going to be in a pretty high tax bracket. So contributing and maxing your money out into this 401k is only going to help you when it comes to finding these deductions to lower your taxable income. Now, this is especially true if you live in a high income tax state like California, New York, New Jersey. Number 7 is to contribute to a Roth account. Now, a lot of people are confused by this. People think that if they're contributing to a 401k that they can't also contribute to a Roth IRA. That is not true. You can contribute to both. A Roth IRA, of course, is going to be after-tax deductions going into an account where it can grow tax-free and you can withdraw it tax-free under certain eligibility standards. But the problem is that you have to find a way to put money into a Roth. A lot of people are phased out. They make too much money to be eligible to put money into a Roth IRA, but there are some strategies to get around that. Namely, you can do a backdoor Roth, or if you're eligible and if your company provides this, you can do a mega backdoor Roth. We have a video on this. We've written about this quite a bit, so check it out where we talk about how you can actually potentially put tens of thousands of dollars into this Roth status. Number 8 on this list is investing in a taxable brokerage account. Now, this is typically an underrated account because it's just going to be a normal individual account, joint account, or even a trust account at Vanguard or with your financial advisor, wherever your taxable money is held. People don't really think about trying to put as much money as they can in this. I think it's underrated because these accounts offer a lot of flexibility. All of the other accounts that we've mentioned before, earlier on the sequence of savings, there's a lot of restrictions with that, meaning that you're restricted in terms of how much money you can put into it, restricted in terms of like how much money you can take out or when can you take it out, at what age can you take this money out. But with the taxable account, there are no restrictions. There are some things that you have to be considerate of, and namely capital gains, but you might have some capital losses to offset that. So if you're looking for a lot of flexibility, then a taxable account offers plenty of that in excess. And last on this list at number 9 is paying off low interest debt, primarily your mortgage. A lot of people are locked into a very low interest rate mortgage where it's 2.75%, low 3s, or even in the 4s. And there's a lot of temptation to aggressively pay off your mortgage, especially if you're eyeing retirement. That might be okay as long as you're taking care of all these other things on that list in order of importance here. So the way I like to think about this is sort of the opportunity cost. Would you rather earn 8, 9, 10 or more % by investing in the capital markets or in the stock market? Or would you like to guarantee and lock in a 3% return by paying off your mortgage aggressively? If you're more about peace of mind and you want to have this debt overhang removed in your financial life, then maybe the answer is, look, I'm going to be paying off my mortgage. When it comes to the behavioral aspects of finance, I think that it doesn't receive enough attention. It doesn't receive enough weight in terms of importance to actually pay off things like this and remove this debt overhang in your life. However, if you're purely trying to optimize your financial life, which is where I tend to lean, I'm a finance guy, then I say you should probably be looking at this last in terms of order of importance. You can do a lot more things with your money. You can have your money do more for you in terms of putting it into a 401k, in terms of paying off higher yielding debt, in terms of investing in the capital markets. So take a look at your own standards, take a look at your own financial life and do what's right for you. But in terms of just pure optimization and in a situation where behavior is not a factor, then this should be last on your list. Now, there are a lot of other account types not mentioned on the sequence of savings, like 529s, like 457s, like 403bs, because there's a lot of nuance to this, right? Your financial situation is unique to yourself, but we did want to provide a framework that you can work within. And if you find yourself on step 7, 8, or 9 of this list, then you're doing a really good job in terms of optimizing your money. And it also means that you're saving a lot of money. That means that you're well on your way and you're setting yourself up for success as you approach your retirement age. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Ryan Hughes, founder of Bull Oak, an independent financial advisory firm focusing on high-income individuals. To learn more about how we help our clients achieve financial success, please visit bulloak.com.